Joining me now, criminal defense attorney specializing in gun crime, Ken Belkin. Ken, good morning to you. During Wednesday's testimony, the prosecution said that Baldwin was, quote, playing make-believe with a real gun. But isn't that what actors do? They play make-believe? I mean, that's the defense's position anyway, right?
Yes, and I take issue with that position because, look, there aren't two sets of rules for regular situations and situations on movie sets. There is one set of rules, there is one set of laws, and I think this is a fairly simple case when it comes down to it.
From a legal perspective, can the prosecution blame Alec Baldwin for the live round in the gun, even if he was holding the gun, potentially pulled the trigger?
They can't blame him for necessarily putting the live round in the gun, but let's look at what he's charged with. He's charged with involuntary manslaughter. Under New Mexico law, what that means is he committed some sort of act, whether a lawful act or unlawful act, that resulted in a death without due caution and circumspection. And the fact of the matter is, he took a gun, pointed it at a human being, and pulled the trigger, even though he said in multiple interviews that he did not pull the trigger. The forensic evidence indicates that the trigger was indeed pulled, and he pulled that trigger. Remember, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was convicted earlier this year and sentenced. She was far removed in the causal chain from what killed Miss Hutchinson. He is the one who pulled the trigger and pointed the gun. It was that final step of pulling the trigger that resulted in Miss Hutchinson's life being lost.
And to that point, though, Baldwin claims, as you've said, that he never pulled the trigger. Part of the prosecution's case will be to bring in a gun expert to debunk that claim, as you're laying out there. But it seemed in opening statements that Baldwin's defense was maybe opening the door to say, you can do that on a movie set. You can pull a trigger. He was told that the gun was cold. And even if he did intentionally pull the trigger, that doesn't make him guilty of a crime because there was somebody else who was supposed to be in charge of the gun.
Look, the buck stops with him. Every firearms safety expert in the world will tell you, you never point a gun at a live human being, no matter if the gun is loaded, unloaded, or if you don't know the status. You never do it. It's the 21st century. You don't have to point a gun at a human being behind a camera. The human being doesn't need to be behind the camera. But he chose to do it, and he pulled the trigger. It's unfortunate. No one's saying that he intended to take Miss Hutchinson's life. Again, he's charged with involuntary manslaughter. So it is a low-grade felony. No one's saying he intentionally committed this murder, but he was the cause of her death. And under New Mexico state law, it would appear to me that this is kind of an open and shut case.
Baldwin did a sit-down interview not long after this incident, and in that interview, he said, again, that he never pulled the trigger. Do you expect those comments to come back to haunt him during this trial?
Yes, they would come back in probably one of two ways. If he chose to take the stand to testify in his defense, he would be cross-examined based on those videos, those prior statements he made in the press, which is always a bad thing. You don't want your client out there making statements to the press, making statements to anyone, really, because statements can be used as evidence. So that, number one, is the issue.
And we'll wait and see whether Alec Baldwin decides to testify in his own defense in this case. Ken Belkin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.